The Caligula Murders, 24. It took some time, but eventually, all survivors settled in their new dimension, amongst new neighbors and friends, without the threat of the indescribable looming over them, or a cube for that matter. All had their own abodes again, including Raymond and Brody, who after all of that, rejoined the police force, detective and sheriff once again. But it was not to last. Not for all, at least. A few weeks into their new arrival, both Ray and Brody were visited, not by Oraz or any of the Dream Collective, but Belvedere. Both Ray and Brody received the same message. Be ready tomorrow morning. Now's the time. We need your help to stop Colleague from doing any further damage to any universe. The rest of the Eldritch things we can manage, but our and your biggest threat at this very moment is him. Neither were given a chance to respond. They'd figured they'd have no choice in the matter. The next morning swiftly came like a scythe against the field, and Brody came to Ray's where they'd wait for Belvedere to come take them to his team. I swear, it's one thing after another. Can't we get a break? Brody asked, childishly, but Ray gave him a stern look. We've had plenty of time to adjust and settle in New Wellington, and they need our help, probably because we led the charge to begin with, he said, looking off into space. Brody remained silent, too tired to argue. Then the front door opened, but not to the town, but the Antrim. Come on, gentlemen, much to be done, Belvedere said, looking at them expectantly. The two men got up and headed through the door. It was the same route as before, only instead of stopping at the cabin, they passed it and began making their way towards the ancient-looking Gothic house in the distance. After about half an hour, they'd reached it. Each of them stepped up to the porch, Belvedere leading the charge. He opened the door and went inside, Ray and Brody following behind. What they saw inside baffled them. It looked a bit bigger on the inside, with strange things lining every wall. 2 staircases at the other end of the room led up to other rooms, and another door was between them. The men were awestruck, and they now had a million more questions.